Hey guys, what to do? It's your boy Supreme Shield of God. I actually have low energy right now and today. So I need some likes in this video because honestly, it's taken so much out of me to make this video. But I felt I owed it to myself and I owed it to y'all to make this Lucasism review because this chapter was sensational. We got awakened Daniel. Daniel was up and going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I should really talk about it. This video is mainly going to be about speculating how strong Daniel is rather than a review of the chapter because I've been doing the reviews, but I think the views are kind of going down because maybe they're a bit repetitive doing reviews every week or whatever. So I'm just going to talk about Daniel and how strong he is. So he did ultra instinct mode in this fight, and I think that the reason for it is that he has to reach basically near unconsciousness or unconsciousness state where his subconscious is the leading fighter or whatever. So in this fight, he was getting molly whopped, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to copy or whatever. He was trying to copy James Lee, and then our boy, the first generation king, blocked that shit and was like, really, you thought you could move like him, and for a second I thought you did. And I think that fear of the memory of him fighting James Lee shook him to the core so heavy. He was like, nah, and then he blocked it, and he was like, man, I'm the strongest out of all of those kings. You know what I'm saying? I'm stronger than every one of those kings. You know what I'm saying? So I was the strongest first generation king, and then he turned and tried to kick him, and and then Daniel tricked him and actually did a completely different move. He did that spinning kick and he smacked them, boom, and he was like, you tricked me, like you was only pretending to be like James Lee just to create an opening. And then he got him to the floor and hit him, and then my boy was like, took out a cigarette, man. That was a beautiful panel of him with the cigarette. And then he's just explaining to him how he's so much better than the other kings, and how, he's too strong for Daniel. Like, Daniel is fucking around, bro. So he was like, okay, let me show you. He gets up and starts molly whopping Daniel. Like, he's beating the dog out of this boy. And then he beats him so much, Daniel awakens, bro. And his eyes go blank. You know what I'm saying? And because Daniel has like a memory of Gun teaching him, and fighting him. He was like, I taught you everything I know. Now you just gotta master it. You just gotta get better at it. You just gotta control it. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit. And so they you know what I'm saying, he awakens and he's ready, and he starts mollywhopping, obviously, because he's awakened. So he's way faster, way stronger. So he's reaching the other Daniel's body. I still don't think he's awakened or he's ultra instinct mode. He's as strong as Guns or as strong as and we don't even think Gu has an ultra instinct mode. And yeah, I actually prefer awakened than ultra instinct, but we don't even think Gu has a fucking awakened state. And yet that dude just OP as hell anyway. That's probably why he was so shook when he fought Awakened Daniel, because he's never fought. I don't think he's ever fought Awakened Gun. Maybe he did Awaken when they fought, but I don't think he did. So maybe he has his own awakened state that he just doesn't use. Because considering how insane he is while conscious, while fully conscious, I can only imagine if his eyes went blank, you are dying, bro. He's not fighting you, he's killing you, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's committing murder right there and there. So that's it's probably good that Good doesn't seem to have an awakened state. But I just want to talk about how strong is Danny right now. I don't think, because again, now awakened is great and all, but there's a few characters that don't have it that are still at OP. James Lee doesn't have, as far as we've seen, he has no awakened mode. He's never showed it. He just beats everybody with ease. Like, to him, it's just light work. Everybody light work. Although Daniel did get him once, you know what I'm saying? And that's, impressed him enough to let him go. Jake has no awakened. Johan has no awakened. So, there's a lot of characters. Gu doesn't seem to have an awakened. So there's a lot of characters that are still super OP that don't have an awakened state. So the awakened state doesn't seem to be the end all be all. But obviously with Daniel's original and with skinny Daniel's, handsome Daniel's original body, no, like Daniel's second body, with the handsome one, with that body is already like, let's say James Lee peak, and then when you add awaken to it, it just goes to a whole nother level. And I think this Daniel hasn't quite reached that body level yet, because obviously the first generation king was saying that, like, speed, he can do the techniques, but he lacks the speed, he probably lacks the strength, he lacks the other aspect that he still has to build up, so he still has a ways to go. I think he's still weaker than Johan right now, but I think he might be like maybe Jake level right now. I think that would make sense, right? I mean, would you guys think Daniel is stronger than Jake right now? I don't think he is, just based on who they last each fought, and the levels. Now, I think Daniel right now has reached it. I think right now Daniel has reached Jake's level because he's fighting a first generation king. Actually, he might be okay. He actually might be a little bit ahead, because it took Eli and what's his name? How do I am I forgetting? And Warren. It took Eli and Warren Chait combined to beat the other first generation king. Albeit they also had to fight like hella people before they reached him, but it took the two of them to beat him. And Daniel is fighting this solo. Although, to be fair, he needed help, otherwise he was gone. You know what I'm saying? Earlier in the fight, so. But still, he's fighting, he's causing the damage solo. So he might actually be ahead of Eli. Unless that other king was just stronger than this king. You know what I'm saying? Because this king is just claiming he's stronger, but it doesn't necessarily mean he is, right? Somebody can claim anything, but it doesn't mean shit. So, I'm not sure, but I think the narrative implies that Daniel is either on Jake and Eli's level or a bit past them. You know what I'm saying? It kind of depends on if you think Eli's stronger than Jake. I don't think Eli's stronger than Jake, but I can understand if you do. So I think Jake is a bit ahead of Eli, and I think then if you have Daniel, I think now this normal body Daniel, I think, is on their level now. You know what I'm saying? But I think he might be slightly lower than Johan. Because I think Johan can match Ultra Instinct Daniel. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is probably the highest AP we have at the moment. We don't know if James Lee is even above that, because we've never actually seen him go serious or go all out. It feels like when he fought all the first generation kings, he just obliterated him. It was light work for him. He's fighting with his hands in his pockets. But you know what I'm saying? There's no threat. You know what I'm saying? But we know that somebody like Gunn, it was ready to fight him and had no qualms about doing it. And we know Gu is the same. So that does an interesting aspect there. I do think that it's also stylistic. I think Gunn likes getting his hands dirty. And I think so does Gu. They enjoy getting their hands dirty. But I think somebody like James Lee doesn't. So I think he'd rather just beat you and finish it and get it done with. You know what I'm saying? But Gunn and Gu just like brawling. They like getting hit, man. I feel like they enjoy getting hit a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They like getting hurt a little bit. They feel like it's not a fight unless they bleed. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's how they are. So sometimes I think we probably don't, because we've never actually seen them go all out either. Because I know Gunn fought Awakened Daniel, and Gunn gave the win to Awakened Daniel, but Gunn got up. Gunn was the one standing up, and Daniel was passed out. So obviously he choked him out. It was something. Oh, he just lost energy. I'm not 100% sure what happened again. I can't remember. But Awakened Daniel gave him a run for his money, like super heavy. So, and we know, like, technique wise and shit like that, Daniel wasn't on the level of Gunn. You know what I'm saying? So that was great to see. That was really, really good to see. So again, I don't even think Gunn was going all out then either. So I think Gunn and Gu haven't fully showcased their thing. I think right now Gunn might be a little bit stronger than Gu, just because I think he's more relevant to the story. I think Gu is gonna be the antithesis, the enemy, more of an enemy figure than Gunn is. Although Gunn also is the one that forced Daniel to like do all that underground shit way back when, and got him to join an idol group and all of that shit. Like, Do you remember that? You remember when Daniel was in an idol group? You remember that shit? Oh man. Um, but yeah, I think Daniel has definitely reached, the third generation. Like, would you consider Jake and them kings? You know what I'm saying? I think they're still pretty young, so they got time to become kings. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if they're considered kings. I suppose they are the leader of factions, the current rulers of factions, the second, third generation, whatever. Um, Second generation. They have to be second generation because yeah, the first yeah. Did they beat? Actually, wait. I think. Wait. Actually, I think I might be mistaken. I think. I think. I think. Eli and Warren Che beat us zero generation person. I don't think it was a first generation king. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think it was. I think it was a generation zero guy, which might be even more impressive because I think Tom is from generation zero as well. Ooh, ooh. So maybe Daniel is not on that level yet. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Daniel is not quite on that level yet. It just depends. You think Jake would win this fight? I would think Jake should be able to win this fight. I would think, but sometimes the fights, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to say because yeah, it's just really hard to say because how strong is Zhao Zing or whatever? You know, the guy with the blade. How strong is he really? Because we never seen him fight nobody else really apart from Jake. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard to gauge him. But I'm enjoying Daniel's progress. I think he's it makes sense that he's this strong because he was passively learning from his other body and he's been getting his ass beat since he was like fucking a little toddler. So you know what I'm saying, his body is used to shit and he's seen a lot of moves. He's seen every trick under the sun. So it makes sense that he adapts rapidly. But what you guys think? How strong do you rank Daniel right now? I would. Amongst his current generation, I think he's already the strongest in his own team. I think he has the strongest trainer, boss, whatever, out of everybody. Apart from Johan, I think Johan potentially, is it Johan? Did manager Kim teach anyone? He taught Warren Che, actually, didn't he? Manager Kim taught Warren Che. So Manager Kim is probably on Guns level. So I would say, or maybe even above, to be honest, because he really doesn't go out at all. He's holding back 99.9% of the time. So I think Warren Che might have the best teacher. Second, Daniel with Gun, or both of them draw, depending on how you view it. Yeah, I would say out of the current generation, out of the current crop, I would say Daniel is the strongest in his own faction. Unless, I think we're gonna see next few chapters after this, that, unless we're gonna have Zach and the boys also taking down a first generation guy. You know what I mean? If they have that, that'll be amazing. But I don't think that's how the story is gonna go. But yeah, I'd say Daniel is he's definitely stronger than Arslan, right? Arslan, than Hudson. I think he's stronger than Zach is my favorite character, but Zach gets done dirty like all the fucking time, consistently. Like he just gets done dirty in the story all the time, and his end goal is being able to beat Johan. So I think his ceiling is lower than Daniel's, just based off of that. It's kind of like Zoro. Zoro beats the second strongest person all the time, and only Luffy beats the strongest person all the time. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I'll talk about that in a One Piece video. But yeah, and then there is, who else is there really? There is Vasco. I think Vasco is the strongest teacher. Sorry, Vasco is the strongest teacher. Holy smoke. Yeah, Vasco has the strongest teacher because even Gunn was like, nah, we respect this man, but we ain't about to get in a fight with this guy, bro. Take the two of us out here, man. Nah, we good. Um, so yeah, I think I think Daniel's stronger than Vasco by how it looks. And also he's the only one that hit James Lee, so I think it's heavily implied that he's stronger than the other two guys. I don't think he's quite Johan. You know what I'm saying? Johan is also in his generation. I don't think he's quite Johan yet. But I think he's tittering, you know what I'm saying, on that level. And we don't really know how strong Vin is still. So, and I know Vin and Vasco kind of had a stalemate. But I think the fight ended prematurely, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he should be stronger than Vin regardless. And then I think Johan currently is the strongest of his generation. And then I think Daniel is second. Regular body Daniel. I mean, super body Daniel is the strongest of his generation. Ooh, no question about it. But yeah, what you guys think? So I think right now Daniel is third. And he's behind Johan and himself. What you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Please leave a like. Whether you disagree or agree or whatever, just comment down your thoughts. And yes, been your boy Supreme Uchiha God. I'm out.